Have you ever felt butterflies in your stomach when you were nervous, or felt your mood drop when your digestion was a bit off? This is not just a coincidence. It is a real connection. We call this the gut-brain axis. Think of it as a superhighway of communication between your gut and your brain. They are constantly sending messages back and forth to each other. This connection is so important for our overall health. It influences everything from how we feel emotionally to how clearly we can think. What happens in your gut does not just stay in your gut, it directly impacts your mental state. So, how does the superhighway actually work? It is a complex network involving nerves, hormones, and your immune system. The vagus nerve is a major player, acting like a direct telephone line between the gut and the brain. Your gut is also home to trillions of microbes, collectively known as your gut microbiome. These tiny organisms are like a busy factory. They help digest your food and produce thousands of different compounds. Some of these compounds can travel all the way up to your brain, influencing your mood, memory, and ability to focus on tasks. This is where fermented foods come into the picture. Foods like live yogurt, kimchi, kefir, and kombucha are packed with beneficial live microbes. When you eat these foods, you are adding more good bacteria to your gut community. This can help strengthen your gut lining and support a healthy balance of microbes. A happier gut microbiome can lead to better communication along that gut-brain highway. This might mean you feel more positive, less anxious, and more mentally sharp. It is all about supporting the foundation of your health, which starts in your gut. Therefore, looking after your gut health is one of the most powerful things you can do for your brain. It is not just about avoiding stomach aches. It is about actively nourishing the ecosystem inside you. By understanding this connection, we can start to make food choices that support both our physical and mental well-being. Adding fermented foods to your diet is a simple and delicious way to begin strengthening this vital link. It is an investment in your long-term cognitive health and daily focus. Let's dive a little deeper into the science. How exactly do the microbes in fermented foods help our brains? One way is by producing special chemicals called neurotransmitters. These are the chemical messengers your brain cells use to communicate. For example, some strains of good bacteria can produce GABA, which stands for gamma-aminobutyric acid. GABA is known for its calming effect. It helps to reduce feelings of anxiety and stress, which can make it easier to concentrate. When your mind is calm, your focus naturally improves. It's amazing to think that tiny bacteria in your gut can produce something that helps you feel more relaxed. Another important brain chemical is dopamine. Dopamine is often called the feel-good neurotransmitter. It is linked to motivation, pleasure, and reward. Having healthy levels of dopamine is crucial for staying engaged and focused on your goals. Certain gut microbes can influence the production of dopamine in your body. By eating a variety of fermented foods, you support a diverse gut microbiome. This diversity increases the chances that you have the right kinds of bacteria to help regulate these important brain chemicals. It is a team effort, and every different microbe plays a part in the process. The benefits do not stop there. When the good bacteria in your gut break down fiber from plant foods, they produce compounds called short-chain fatty acids, or SCFAs. These SCFAs are superstars for both gut and brain health. They provide energy for the cells lining your gut, keeping the gut wall strong and healthy. A strong gut barrier prevents unwanted substances from leaking into your bloodstream, which can cause inflammation. SCFAs can also travel to the brain, where they have been shown to support memory and learning. So, eating fermented foods alongside high-fiber foods is a winning combination. In short, the science is becoming clearer. The live microbes in fermented foods are not just passive passengers. They are active participants in your health. They produce calming neurotransmitters like GABA, influence mood-boosting chemicals like dopamine, and create beneficial SCFAs that reduce inflammation and support cognitive function. This is not a quick fix or a magic pill. It is about consistently feeding your gut microbiome the right things so it can do its important work, helping you feel your best from the inside out. It is important to know that not all fermented foods are created equal. You might see a jar of pickles or sauerkraut on the supermarket shelf and assume it is full of gut-friendly microbes. However, this is often not the case. Many commercially produced fermented products are pasteurized. This means they are heated to a high temperature to extend their shelf life. While pasteurization kills off any harmful bacteria, it also destroys the beneficial live cultures that we want for our gut and brain health. So the first rule is to look for products that are live or raw. How can you tell if a product contains live cultures? Check the label carefully. Look for phrases like live and active cultures, unpasteurized, or naturally fermented. These products are usually found in the refrigerated section of the store, not on the regular shelves. This is because the live bacteria need to be kept cool to survive. Think of live yogurt, kefir, fresh kimchi, and raw sauerkraut. If you are buying kombucha, make sure it is a raw, unpasteurized variety. The goal is to get those living microbes into your gut, so choosing the right product is key. Diversity is just as important as choosing live products. Different fermented foods contain different strains of bacteria and yeasts. Each of these strains can offer unique benefits. For example, the microbes in kefir are different from those in kimchi. By eating a variety of fermented foods throughout the week, you are populating your gut with a wider range of beneficial microbes. This creates a more robust and resilient gut ecosystem. Try not to stick to just one type of fermented food. Mix it up to get the full spectrum of benefits for your brain and overall health. Finally, freshness matters. The number of live cultures in a fermented product can decrease over time, even when it is stored correctly in the fridge. Try to buy fresh products and consume them within a reasonable time frame. You could even try making your own fermented foods at home, like kefir or sauerkraut. It is easier than you might think, and is a great way to ensure you are getting a fresh, potent dose of beneficial microbes. The key takeaway is to be a savvy shopper. Choose live, choose variety, and choose fresh for the biggest brain-boosting potential. Adding fermented foods to your diet does not need to be complicated. The best approach is to start small and be consistent. If you are new to these foods, begin with just a small amount, like a tablespoon or two a day. This gives your gut time to adjust to the new microbes. A sudden, large intake might cause some temporary bloating or gas as your gut ecosystem shifts. Listen to your body and gradually increase the amount as you feel comfortable. The goal is to make it a sustainable part of your daily routine, not a short-term experiment. Let's look at a simple daily plan. For breakfast, you could add a few spoonfuls of live yogurt or kefir to your porridge, smoothie, or fruit. This is an easy and delicious way to start your day with a dose of probiotics. For lunch, a small side of raw sauerkraut or kimchi can add a tangy crunch to a salad or a sandwich. Kimchi, with its spicy flavor, pairs wonderfully with eggs, rice bowls, or even on top of a jacket potato. It's about finding simple swaps and additions to meals you already enjoy. In the afternoon, instead of reaching for a sugary drink, you could try a small glass of kombucha. It provides that fizzy satisfaction, but with the added benefit of live cultures and beneficial acids. Just be mindful of the sugar content, as some brands can be quite high. Look for options with less than 5 grams of sugar per serving. For your evening meal, you could use live yogurt to make a creamy dressing for a salad or a cooling dip for spicy food. The possibilities are endless once you start thinking about it. So, is the idea of using fermented foods for better focus a real strategy or just a myth? The evidence suggests it is very real, but with some important conditions. The benefits come from consistently eating a variety of live, unpasteurized fermented foods. It is not a magic bullet, but rather a powerful tool to support the gut-brain axis. When you nourish your gut microbes, you are helping them produce the very compounds that can lead to a calmer, clearer, and more focused mind. Quality and consistency are the keys to unlocking this potential.